Welcome back to English with Speak Smart, everyone. I'm Jane, and I am super excited about today's topic, aren't you, Lucy?
Absolutely, Jane. I'm Lucy, and yes, I think this is one of those topics that our listeners have probably been asking for without even realizing it. We're talking about real-life vocabulary for beginners, basically the words you use every single day.
Exactly. It's so easy to get caught up in learning grammar rules, irregular verbs, all the formal stuff, which is important, don't get me wrong, but then you step out into the real world, try to order a coffee or ask for directions, and suddenly you feel like you've forgotten everything.
That's such a common experience. Learners often tell me they know a lot of words, but they struggle to string them together naturally or pick the right word for a casual conversation. It's like knowing all the ingredients, but not how to cook a meal.
Totally. And that's what we want to tackle today. We're going to dive into practical, everyday words and phrases that native speakers actually use, not just in textbooks. Stuff you'll hear in cafes, on the street, at work, with friends. The kind of language that makes you sound more, well, human.
Exactly. So let's kick things off with a very common scenario, making plans or suggesting something. Instead of just, do you want to go to the park, which is fine, but a bit direct, what are some more natural ways to say it?
Oh, loads. My go-to is often, how about, or what about, followed by an activity or a noun. So, how about going to the park? Or, what about the park this afternoon? It feels much softer, right?
Yes, it's very inviting. And then you could also say, fancy doing something later, or fancy a coffee. Fancy is such a versatile word for casual invitations. It just means, do you want to have, or do you want to do?
I love fancy. I think it instantly makes you sound more native. And for beginners, it's easy to remember because it's short. Let's say you're meeting someone and you want to ask if they're free. Instead of, are you free, you could say, are you up for? Like, are you up for grabbing a bite?
Grabbing a bite is perfect. It's so common for eating a meal or having some food. It doesn't have to be a big meal, just something quick. And when you're suggesting times, instead of just what time, you might say, what works for you? Or, does X o'clock work for you?
Oh, what works for you is such a good one. It implies flexibility, which is often what you need when making plans. Another one for agreeing to plans is, sounds good, or sounds great. Much more common than, that is a good idea.
Definitely. And if you're not sure, let me check my calendar or let me get back to you. These are all super useful for everyday interactions. Okay, moving on to another crucial area, expressing feelings and opinions. This is where a lot of learners default to just, I am happy or I am sad.
Right, and those are fine, but imagine the richness you can add. Instead of I am happy, you could say, I'm thrilled if you're really excited. Or, I'm chuffed to bits, which is a bit more British, but very expressive.
Or I'm delighted, if it's a pleasant surprise. For sad, you could say I'm feeling a bit down or I'm a little blue. These are very gentle ways to express sadness without it sounding too dramatic.
Oh, feeling a bit down is fantastic. It's so relatable. Everyone feels a bit down sometimes. And for being angry, instead of I am angry, you could say I'm annoyed if it's mild. Or, I'm really frustrated if something isn't working out.
And I'm fed up if you've had enough of a situation. That one communicates a lot with just 2 words. What about when you're giving an opinion? Learners often start with my opinion is or I think.
Which again, totally correct. But to sound more natural, you could try, in my humble opinion if you want to be a bit playful. Or, to be honest, or honestly I think, to add emphasis. It softens it a little.
Honestly is a great one. It signals that you're about to share your true feelings. And for agreement, instead of just yes, you can say exactly, or that's so true, or I couldn't agree more, which really expresses strong agreement.
Oh, I couldn't agree more is one of my favorites for beginners. Because it's so powerful. It also helps to practice a longer sentence structure, which is a win-win. What about when you disagree, Lucy? How do you soften that, especially as a beginner?
Good question. Instead of a blunt, no, I don't agree, you can say, I see your point, but, or I'm not so sure about that. These phrases acknowledge the other person's perspective before you introduce your own, which is really polite in English culture.
That's super helpful. Politeness is key, especially when you're still learning the language. It can prevent misunderstandings. Let's shift gears a little and talk about shopping, because everyone shops, right?
Absolutely, it's an unavoidable part of daily life. So, beyond how much is this, which is fundamental, you could ask, do you have this in a different size collar, or is this on sale?
Is this on sale is a lifesaver. I use it all the time. Also, can I try this on if you're buying clothes? Or where are the fitting rooms? And when you're at the checkout, instead of just pointing to your card, you could say, I'll pay by card, or can I pay with cash?
Perfect. And if you're not ready to buy but you like something, you might say, I'm just browsing, thanks, or I'm just looking. It's a nice way to tell the sales assistant you don't need help right now without being rude.
Yeah, just browsing is a staple. I remember when I was learning French and I wanted to say that, but I didn't know the exact phrase, so I just stood there awkwardly. It makes a big difference to know these little things. What about ordering food, Lucy? That's another big one for beginners.
Oh, definitely. Beyond I want a coffee, which again is okay, but you'll sound so much more natural with can I get or I'll have. So, can I get a latte, please? Or I'll have the pasta, please. And always add please and thank you.
Yes, please and thank you are non-negotiable. And if you're asking for the bill, can we get the bill please or check please, especially in America? Or if you want a takeaway, can I get this to go or for here or to go, which they might ask you.
Right, to go is crucial, and if you have any dietary restrictions, does this contain nuts or is this vegetarian vegan? These are incredibly useful phrases for staying healthy and safe.
Absolutely. It's not just about sounding natural, it's about being able to navigate your day-to-day life effectively. Okay, so we've covered plans, feelings, shopping, food. What about just general small talk or asking about someone's day?
Ah, small talk, the bane of many learners' existence, but also so important for building connections. Beyond how are you, which is standard, you might hear how's your day going or what have you been up to?
What have you been up to is a classic. It's a great opener for friends or colleagues. And if someone asks you, instead of just good, you could say, not bad thanks, or pretty good, busy as usual. It gives a little more detail without being overwhelming.
Yes, busy as usual is perfect for those times when you're just, well, busy. And if you want to politely end a conversation, especially if it's running long, you could say, well, I should probably get going, or it was good catching up with you. These are polite exit strategies.
It was good catching up with you is so natural. It's such a common phrase. For beginners, I think the key is to not be afraid to make mistakes. The more you try to use these real-life phrases, the more comfortable you'll get.
Definitely. And try to listen for them. When you're watching English TV shows, movies, or even listening to podcasts like ours, pay attention to how native speakers phrase things. You'll start to notice patterns.
That's such a good point. Passive listening is great, but active listening, specifically listening for these phrases, makes a huge difference. You'll start to internalize them. And don't feel like you have to use all of them at once.
Exactly. Pick one or two new phrases from today's episode that resonate with you and try to incorporate them into your conversations this week. Maybe it's how about when suggesting something, or I'm feeling a bit down if you're having a tough day.
Yeah, little by little. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's communication. It's about connecting with people more naturally and confidently. I mean, I still make mistakes in my native language sometimes, you know?
Absolutely, we all do. The beauty of learning a language is that it opens up so many new doors and allows you to understand the world from different perspectives. And using these everyday words is a huge step in feeling more at home in English.
So true, Lucy. It really is about confidence. The more you can express yourself authentically, the more confident you'll feel, and that just fuels more learning. I mean, think about how amazing it feels when you successfully use a new phrase and someone understands you instantly.
It's the best feeling. It's like a little victory every time. And for our listeners, please remember that consistency is key. Even just 5 minutes a day practicing a few new phrases can make a huge difference over time.
Couldn't agree more. And don't forget to review. You might learn a great phrase today, but if you don't use it or review it, it might just slip away. Try flashcards, or better yet, try to write down a small dialogue using some of these phrases.
That's a fantastic idea, Jane. Writing dialogues helps you internalize not just the words, but how they flow together in a conversation. You can even practice saying them out loud to yourself or with a language partner.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment with your tone. English is full of nuance, and a simple sounds good can mean different things depending on how you say it. Try to mimic what you hear.
That's a very advanced tip, but so valuable. It helps you sound less like you're reading from a script and more like you're truly engaging in the conversation. We hope this episode has given you some great tools to start using English more naturally in your daily life.
We really do. So go out there, practice these everyday words, and make them your own. You've got this. Thanks so much for tuning in to English with Speak Smart. I've been Jane.
And I'm Lucy. Keep practicing, keep listening, and we'll catch you next time.